Okay, so I wanted to show you guys kind of some the ins and outs of the line sprayer here. We've got the Titan SPEEFLO PowrLiner 850. Um, so first off, we've got the engine is a 4-stroke, so make sure we check. It's got gas. I just filled it up, so we're good there. Check the oil, which I just did, which is over here. So you just take that off, check it like anything else. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is, before you run it, you take this little cap off here, and that's the oiler. So we've got this bottle that'll be with the crate, inside the crate, and you gotta take this cap off here. There's a cap inside there. Stop it from coming out while it's shipping, and just make sure you fill that up. Okay, and then put the cap back on, and then you're going to want to prime it. There's a button right here, and you just want to prime it 3 or 4 times. Should be good. And then there's water in it right now from being cleaned, so we're going to have to get the water out. So there's our pickup tube. Put that in there. Get our siphon tube out of here and into a just bucket of water, basically, because there's water in it. So we're going to want to get it out. And then just give me 1 second here. I'll start the engine up and show you how to get all of the old stuff out and get ready to paint. So I also wanted to mention the paint that I'm using is this Hotline TM2321 from Sherwin-Williams. I just picked it up at my local Sherwin-Williams. And then another thing too, you always want to put something over it. This stuff dries super fast, so if you don't have something over the top of it, like a wet rag, it can kind of skin up on the top of it. So one thing to note is we always want to make sure this is turned all the way clockwise, so that it's on the lowest setting. And then we've got the push button right in here. It's kind of hard to see. And then down for choke. Start it up. Push the choke back up, so it's pretty quiet. And then also make sure you're down. It's kind of hard to see, I guess. You got prime and spray, so up and down is the prime. That's what we're going to want to have it at for right now. So then you start turning this counterclockwise. The engine will start revving up, and it'll start spittering out. So what you want to do is keep that going for about 15 to 30 seconds, get everything primed up. So you can see there's water coming out of there. It'll kind of spit her out. There we go. Starting to get some paint coming through. Shut it back down. Okay. I'm going to turn it to spray and get everything out of line. I take the tip off of the gun. It'll push the fluid through it a lot quicker and get rid of the water out of there a lot quicker. So it's going to be kind of hard with the camera in my hand, but we'll do our best here. So again, turn it back out. Careful with this part, there can put some good pressure in there. Pull the trigger slowly. And oh, now I got there. Tube back in there. Definitely pull the trigger pretty slow, and then you just basically go until you start seeing paint coming out, so you can get all the water out of the system. Shouldn't take too long. I'll do it with the tip off because it'll go a lot faster. And we're almost there. There we go. Once it starts kind of sputtering, there. Got paint coming out now. Yep. Alright. We'll turn it back down. Wait. Shut it off. And then always make sure, once you shut it off, flip the switch over to prime. It'll take the pressure off, so you can, put the tip on. So it's gonna be kind of hard to do with one hand. So I will be back. Pretty simple. Just screw the tip back on here. Okay, so we're back. We got the tip on there now. Make sure you tighten this nut right here on with just like adjustable pliers or adjustable wrench. And then so once we set this up on here, I wanted to note to make sure you have it back as far as you can, so that this lever knob thing is as close to touching that as possible. You'll find that the handle can kind of stick if you don't have it all the way back, and it will keep letting paint out when you let go of the trigger up there. So let me see if I can set this down here. So tightening this down now. Again, make sure it's just as back as far as you can when you start tightening it down, and then tightening it down pretty good because there's a lot of vibration to it once you get it moving. Okay, so let me see if I can start it up and just kind of show you on these lines that I've already done. So again, all the way clockwise when you're shutting it down and when you're starting it up. And then I'll open this all the way. What I found was the best pressure-wise was all the way open, and then about a half to 3/4 of a turn back closed. Seemed to be the best pressure. It came out even and gave me a good 4-inch line. So here we go. And then put it back to spray. Okay. We're going to check this on video here. And then also, forgot to mention, when you're ready to spray, you'll point that arrow down there, and it'll come out like that. Alright, and we should be ready. So, that's the trigger that you pull on, and again, really nice job of doing the lines. I'll set it up over across the way doing the straight truck spot, and show you guys that one real quick. But that's pretty much it, and then I'll, at the end, when I'm all done, I'll show cleaning it out. Alright. One quick thing I forgot to mention is, so if you're going to be, like I just moved a couple trucks real quick, make sure that you turn the tip off, so basically so that it's perpendicular to the way the spray is coming out. That way it closes it off, because this paint really, it dries super fast. Like the stuff that I just painted a couple minutes ago is already pretty much dry. So just make sure that you shut that off when you're going to be paused for even a few minutes. That way it doesn't dry up the tip. And then if you do ever have like a little clog or anything like that, turn it so that the arrow is pointed up. Get somewhere and be aware that the paint is going to come out kind of quick. So, and then pull the trigger real quick. It'll get rid of the junk in there, and then you turn it back down and you're good to spray again. So I just wanted to give that quick tip. Okay, so I just want to go over kind of the cleaning steps here. So first off, make sure when you shut it off, you've got it turned to prime. That'll get the pressure off there, and obviously before you shut it off, you have to have that turned to the pressure all the way down. We've got a bucket full of just water, and then we've got our siphon tube into the paint, because a little bit of paint will come out of there when we start to put the water through. And then once you got the pressure off of there and everything, and then you take your tip off, this comes out just by turning and then kind of just pulling it out. So clean that off with some water. I've got some mineral spirits here just to kind of help make things go easy, and I've got this little brush that I'll just clean it off a little bit with. These other steps. So it's basically the same process as starting it up. When putting paint into it, same concept, you're just getting the paint out. So we've got the paint tip off, the gun and the tip guard off, so it'll let it get through there a lot quicker. So we'll start it back up, and then what we're going to do is basically put it back into the paint, and until it starts kind of spittering a little bit, get a little bit of water out, and then we'll put it back into the water. And I like to, once we get that cleaned out that way, I'll show you guys. I just take that water, get fresh, put some Dawn dish soap in it, run that through, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, here we go. Whoa. Okay. So priming again. We are on prime. Turn the pressure up a bit. We get that coming out. So still paint coming out of there. See it kind of glug a little bit. And there, we're getting water now. So we'll shut it back down. Now water's coming out. Put that into the water bucket. Turn the pressure back up a little bit. And turn it to spray. Okay. Now we'll take our gun, put it carefully, and barely pull the trigger so you can see paint start coming out. Same concept as before. And there you can see it starting to sputter. And you can kind of tell the consistency changes. Here. Turn it back down a little bit so you guys can hear me. So the consistency of it really changes once, you can really tell once water starts coming out. It'll spitter and sputter too a little bit once water starts coming out of the gun. So now I'm just going to run this through and spray it back into the water bucket for just a little bit, get some water going through it, and then I'm going to change out the water for fresh and put some dog and dish soap and run that through it. Okay, so we got a fresh bucket of water, clean that one out, put a little dog and dish soap in there. You really don't need a ton. It's not like you want it like sudsy or nothing. I mean, there's a little bit of bubbles there, but nothing crazy. And then I'm going to start it up, run it through again, just run it through for a while, and let it get through the system. And then after that, I will put the tip back on and spray a bit through that just to get that all cleaned out too. And that's pretty much it for cleaning. You're ready to shut her down. Alright. Okay, so one more quick thing I wanted to mention was I like to take that same brush I used on the tip and just kind of clean anything out there in that screen just real quick. It doesn't take much to just clean it off. And then so I got the tip and everything back on there. You kind of see it's nice and shined up, clean from the mineral spirits. And then I'm just going to run a little more water through and spray the gun out a little bit. And we'll be pretty much done. There is a filter inside of here that we can clean out too. Yeah. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys.